Hey, it is 12 noon on Friday, which means it's time for our weekly mastermind to grow your real estate business, aka State of Real Estate. My name is Jon Carissimo, and I'm here on behalf of the Tampa School of Real Estate, as we are every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button so you get notified every time it is that we're live, so you don't miss out on any opportunity to learn how to grow your real estate business. And what we're talking about today are tips to accelerate, to jumpstart your real estate business. And this could be if you're a new agent, but we could very easily rehash the same things that a new agent would need for somebody who's more experienced that's just looking for that next level to jumpstart this and take their real estate business to the next level. You know, getting that car initially moving once it's first built, that takes a little bit of energy. But then sometimes these cars, you know, we've got to put a little bit more into them to take them to that next level, get them to go a little bit faster, a little bit farther. And that's what we're talking about today, what it is that you want to do. You know, we're going to really focus this around, you just got your real estate license and you're trying to get business, you're trying to get commission, you're trying to get paid, and what it is that you need to be doing every single day to take your business to that level. And this could be if you're working in real estate part-time. You could be working in real estate part-time and still jumpstart your business. You could be working in real estate full-time, any amount of time. It doesn't matter how much time it is that you're working. It matters that you're doing the things that matter. And that's what we're here to talk about today, to really kind of cut through all the BS that's out there of the things that are time-wasting, that doesn't actually generate you any business, and coming to terms immediately with that, so that way you know where it is that you want to focus your business, to be able to get money today. You know, we're going to talk also about the short term versus the long term, because the short term is ultimately what's going to get you paid today. And yeah, you do have to work for the long term as well to be able to have something bigger than yourself someday. But that someday is never going to happen if you don't worry about today. You've got to worry about today first before you can take care of tomorrow. So that's what we're going to talk about, how to focus on today. And then tomorrow, that's definitely still a priority, but it's much further down on the list than the stuff, that low-hanging fruit that's going to get you paid right away, that's going to get you some capital so you're able to grow your real estate business, so you start earning some commission checks, and maybe you can afford to do some marketing or advertising or hiring an assistant or whatever it is that you're trying to do. So real estate tips to jumpstart and accelerate your career, that's the topic of today. If you've got questions, throw that in the live chat. We've got those loaded up here. I'm Jon Carissimo. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate, and you're watching State of Real Estate. State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, it's Friday, it's State of Real Estate time. It means it's time to talk about growing your real estate business and what these tips are to accelerate your real estate business, to get started making money right away. Hit the subscribe button if you're not yet already subscribed, but let's get right down into it. So number one, you've got to have the right info. And that's what we're here to talk about today. There's so many misunderstandings and misconceptions that are out there about everything. You know, whether you want to call that fake news or alternative facts, or you want to call that, you know, if we're looking at this from a business perspective, you know, there might be somebody that's making like $40,000, $50,000 a year with their real estate license, and they might be satisfied with that. But is that the type of person that you want to necessarily take advice from? Now, if you're looking to emulate that same $40,000, $50,000, then yeah, do what they do. But if you don't like where that person is and you want to be further than that, then you don't want to model that system. Because there are a lot of agents out there that don't put in the work that's necessary, that do work, but maybe they're doing it on the wrong things. They're worried about setting up their Facebook page. I see so many realtors that, and look, if you've got a Facebook page that's got like 17 likes on it, I'm not trying to attack you or anything like that, but look, those 17 likes that are probably mostly your friends and your mom, they're not going to be clients. Maybe they are, but you're going to need a whole lot more than just 17 people liking your stuff. So don't worry about setting up a Facebook page. Don't worry about setting up a LinkedIn page. Don't worry about your Twitter. And you might say, well, what if somebody Googles me? What are they going to find? They're not going to Google you. People are lazy. I know this firsthand that, if people are maybe considering hiring you, what matters most is that face-to-face conversation that you're having, especially if you're able to close the deal right then and there. They're not going to go Google you ahead of time. Maybe they do once every 100, once every 1,000, maybe you get that. But look, don't worry about your online presence. And that's one of the pieces of having the right information. Now look, if you're brand new in real estate, I'm not going to spend too much time on this because you've probably heard me say it multiple times before. Take post licensing. If you just got your real estate license, you need post licensing. You're going to lose your license if you don't complete post licensing. The question is, are you going to do it now or are you going to wait till right before your deadline to do it? You do it right before your deadline, you lose the opportunity to really take away as much information as you could when you're doing it in a non-stressful time. When you first get your real estate license, you don't know which way to go. You're getting pulled in different directions. You got brokers pulling you every which way saying, oh, come join us, come join us, come join us. And they're saying, no, we're the best, no, we're the best, no, we're the best. And you have no idea where it is that you want to go. You've got to get the right info first. I'll be honest with you, the information you're typically going to get from a brokerage is going to be jaded. Why? Now, they might be fairly close and in line, but any information that you're given from a brokerage that's trying to recruit you to their brokerage, obviously there's a conflict of interest, especially when there's some sort of monthly fee they might charge you or an annual fee or whatever it is that they're getting up front. So take everything it is that they say with a grain of salt. And that's why, again, if you go do this post-licensing course, a big part of that is business planning and figuring out what it is that you're going to do, what it is that you want out of your real estate business, setting that income goal. If you walk into a real estate broker's office to go interview with a recruiter or with the broker or whoever it is at that brokerage, and you don't already have in mind at least a goal of amount of income it is that you want to make, and then really what's more important is knowing the actions that are required to hit that goal. Because look, if you know the goal that you want to achieve, let's say it's $100,000. Let's say that's your income goal, that you want to hit $100K in 1 year, and you've broken it down to how many contacts you need to make to get this many appointments, to get this many contracts, to get this many closings. And you've broken that down, you've done the math, you've ran the numbers. You at least know what it takes. But then, what's more importantly, now you could ask that question, what is this broker going to do to help me get the 100 contacts I need a week? How is this broker going to help put me in a vehicle for success to be able to get the 100 contacts a week or 50 contacts a week or 20 contacts a week, whatever it is that you've determined in your business plan? And look, your business plan probably isn't going to be accurate. It's probably not going to be 100% correct, but at least having a guideline laid out of what it is that you need to do, now you're able to better assess what you need to find. So that's really what's most important, is getting that right information. And there's a lot of ways that you could find incorrect information. But look, start off with that post-licensing course because it is required. You've already got to take it. Just get it done now so that way you're able to take away the information in there that's focused on growing your business, because that's what post-licensing is all about. Now, let's say you've got that knocked out and you've got a little bit of an idea of what it is that you want to do in real estate. So we already talked about this, but you've got to plan your actions and really plan/understand the level of actions. That's really what's most important, because most real estate agents, myself included, when you start your real estate career, you severely underestimate how much action it's going to take. And you do have that capacity to do more, but you might be a little bit hesitant. Because when you first get your real estate license, you go past your course and you learn all the laws and you go past your exam and you prove that you knew about all those laws that they wanted to ask you about. But now when it comes down to actually, helping clients, you're like, oh, well, let me, I'm brand new, so let me start easy. That's a big mistake right there. Starting slowly. That's a mistake. Even if you're working part-time, you don't want to just dip your toes into this. You want to immerse yourself. Even if you're working part-time in real estate, you want to dive in head first. Because what's going to happen? Your instincts are going to start kicking in. You're going to start swimming. You're going to figure that out. Now, yeah, there's the chance that you're going to drown. But if you got that right info ahead of time, that post-licensing course, that's your swimming lesson. It's a very introductory swimming lesson. But, pre-licensing, you can think about this. This is the rules of the pool. The pre-licensing course, really, this is the rules of the pool. No running. No head first diving. No using the pool after dusk. That type of thing. That's what you're learning in pre-licensing, whereas post-licensing, it's okay. You get in the water, and this is how you're going to swim. You want to make this motion here. I mean, obviously, I'm speaking figuratively here, but you can see that difference of, okay, this is the law, whereas this is what you want to do when you're in there. And look, here's what happens when you dip your toes in. You dip your toes in the water. Are you swimming? No. You feel what the water's like. You say, ooh, that's a little chilly. That's a little cold. But you're not actually making any progress. And so what a lot of agents will do, myself included, is you rely on one client. That you find that one client who's going to buy that one house that's going to get you that one commission check. And if all goes according to plan, what do you have? One commission check. But here's what's going to happen. It's not going to all go according to plan. You know, as much as you want to plan your actions and understand the necessary level of action, you don't want to overplan because your plan isn't going to be accurate. You could have the most well-researched plan in the world, but it's not going to be accurate. You're going to have some trial and error. You're going to find out that you can't count on just one client at one time. I like to say one and you're done. Why? After one are you done? Because you have one client, something falls through, now what do you have? You have 0 clients. You've got nobody left if you have the one client and then something happens, whether it's your fault because you weren't following up at the appropriate levels, whether it's maybe more so on the client where, you know, some unexpected life event occurred and now all of a sudden it changes things. Maybe they lose their job. What are you going to do if they lose their job? As much as I like to think that you can control everything that's around you. I can't tell my client, hey, make sure you're working hard at work so you don't get fired or laid off or whatever the case may be. That's outside of our control. So what can I control? I can control the amount of clients it is that I have. That's what I can control. You've got to realize the things that you have no control over. You don't have control of whether or not that client's credit score that they told you is accurate, or, you know, maybe you get them in front of a lender to kind of predict for that. That's how you control that type of thing. If they say, oh yeah, I'm already pre-approved, great, let's get that pre-approval letter. Okay, yeah, I'll talk to the lender. And you never get that, it's probably because they didn't talk to a lender and they didn't want to admit that to you because they're not ready yet because they don't trust you. So notice all these things that we could have done to influence this. Number one, building the trust with the client. If we built the trust with the client, that's something we can control. We can control that relationship we have with the client. It's difficult, but it absolutely can be done. Establishing the open, honest lines of communication, that's so essential. And that's going to help facilitate the trust. Look, I've had clients on me that have just decided that they don't want to buy. And it's probably on me for not. Because what happens ultimately is, you know, they meet me, they come in contact with me because they're interested in buying a home, and they're all gung-ho about it, then all of a sudden they just disappear. They just ghost on you. And what happens? Why did that happen? Now, it could be on me. It could be on me for not following up and staying in contact with them enough. It could be on me for not establishing that relationship. It could be on me for letting somebody else convince them, oh yeah, no, now's not the time to buy. Now you don't want to buy that. Oh no, you've got to wait. And they could now be sold on that other story that someone else, whether, you know, aunt, uncle, parent, child, whatever it may be, the news that now somehow convinced them, that won over, that beat out my story, my reason why they should be working with me. They beat that out. That could be my fault. They could just not like me. Maybe I did something that maybe was off-putting to them, and I didn't redeem myself. That's, again, back in my arena, because I could, if you're in touch with your client, if you're in contact with them, you'll find out when you've done something that maybe they didn't quite like, but then you'll know how to correct for that. You'll know how to fix that because you realize that you've done something wrong. So that's where you want to be able to say, what is it that I can do that could change the circumstances? But whatever the case may be, there may be clients, there will be clients, not there may be, there will be clients that you can't figure it out. You can figure out what it is. You know you probably did something, but you don't know why, and they won't return your calls. They're not deciding that they want to buy. They've just basically don't exist to you anymore. And you can't get in touch with them. Maybe they blocked your calls. Maybe, you know, something. Whatever the case may be, they just aren't going to contact with you. Now, if we're just relying on one client, where are we at now? We're back to zero. We're back to square One. So you should never have just one client at one time, because one client, and you're done. You either get the job done or something's going to happen, the deal's going to fall apart. Maybe that deal revives itself years later. I've had that happen where I started building a relationship and they weren't quite ready, but I maintained that relationship, and years later, they're like, hey, you know what? Let's do this. And because I stayed in touch, because I controlled that communication, because I controlled the relationship, and I stayed important in their mind as their real estate professional, eventually it happened. But look, if you're just getting your real estate license, you probably don't want to wait years to have a commission. So what do you got to do? You've got to understand the level of action that's required. You've got to have more than one client. So then that question is, well, where do you find the clients? And that's what we're going to talk about next, so stick with us. We're going to take a quick commercial break. I'm Jon Carissimo. You're watching State of Real Estate. What's required to become a Florida real estate broker? Well, a few things. Number one, you have to have at least 2 years experience as a sales associate or a broker. Now, this experience could actually even be earned outside of Florida. It just has to be 2 years within the last 5 years. So 2 years of experience to become a broker. You also need to take a pre-licensing course. The broker pre-licensing course is 72 hours. It's got a 100 question and of course exam. Once you pass that and file all your paperwork with the state to upgrade to a broker license, then you just need to pass your state exam. That's another 100 question exam. You need to get a 75% on that. You complete those items and you'll have a Florida real estate broker license where you can open your own office or just remain with your current broker as a broker associate. To find out more about upgrading your real estate license to broker, check out upgradetobroker.com. That's upgradetobroker.com. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. My name is Jon Carissimo, and I'm from the Tampa School of Real Estate. We're here every Friday. If you haven't subscribed to us, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of this free content that we drop on you every week, every Friday, 12 noon Eastern time. Watch it live or watch it whenever. It's on YouTube, it's on Facebook, it's on our Success Center. You can find this. Just search for State of Real Estate and you'll find the knowledge. But hit that subscribe button when you get there so that way we keep you in that loop of feeding you this information so you don't end up being just an average agent. If you're getting your real estate license, so this is tip number 3. Tip number 3, don't fall victim to average. Now, what I mean when I say don't fall victim to average, have you Googled the stats of an average real estate agent? Matter of fact, let's go ahead and let's see what we could find here. Let's go ahead and hop on the good old Google. And let's go ahead and search average salary of real estate agent in Florida. Let's see what we've got here. Salary for real estate sales agent in Florida, according to salary.com. Don't hold your breath because it's not going to be an exciting number here. So, they got a bunch of different cities listed out here. But let's see if Tampa's on here. See what we got here for Tampa. Yeah, Tampa, $39,000 is the average real estate agent. I bet you didn't get your real estate license to go make $39,000 a year. And that's the average agent. So don't fall victim to being average. Now, you might think if you're brand new to real estate that, oh wow, an average agent only makes $39,000. Go into a real estate office and ask for their average agents. Chances are you're not going to be able to find them because maybe they're not in the office. Or maybe they're hanging out in the office because they just like hanging out in the office and talking with the other agents there. The average agent is not something that you want to aspire to be. Now, there's agents out there that make over $1 million in a single year, while an average agent, according to salary.com in Tampa, is $39,863. So what's the difference? Why is an average agent only making $40,000 when there's agents easily making $100,000, $200,000, over $1 million, maybe not quite as easily? And it's because it's really easy to be average. So there's a lot of agents out there, and this definitely pulls down the statistic. So this is definitely something pulling down the statistic. There's a lot of agents out there that just have the license to have the license, that aren't actively working in real estate. So that number, I'm assuming, I haven't read the fine print on it there, but is across all active real estate agents, where there's people out there that might have an active license, but they don't really do anything with it. Now, they're not quite an average agent. They would definitely fall into that category of below average, and they're going to really be making less than $39,000 a year if they're not. You're going to make $0 if you don't do anything with your real estate license. So that's a possibility. You make nothing. You spend some money, so you really come out on the losing end of that. But that's if you do nothing with your license. And I doubt you're getting your real estate license to do nothing with it. But what happens, and again, I started the show off with this, that you don't want to go out there and just go find an agent that's making $40,000 a year. You don't want to go find an average agent and go model your business after that average agent, because what's going to happen? You might not even hit that average level. If you're just trying to be like that $40,000 agent and you're going from nothing to trying to be like a $40,000 agent, you're going to fall short of that $40,000. Whatever goal it is that you set, you're going to fall short of that. So why not set a worthy goal to fall short of? Because I bet you if you set a goal of $40,000 and you only got halfway there, you'd make $20,000. So if you set a goal of $40,000, you only get halfway there, you make 20 grand. What happens if you set a goal of $100,000 and you only get halfway there? Well, you beat that average agent. You're making $50,000 if you only get halfway to your goal. But the question is setting those appropriate goals. Setting the appropriate goals, stretch goals, goals it is that are out of reach, that you probably wouldn't be able to attain, that if you obtain those goals, the universe would shift. That's the types of goals it is that you want. Not some goal that's a comfortable goal, not an average goal, because you set that goal to be average, you're going to fall short. Whatever your goal is, you're going to fall short of it. And if you're hitting your goals are way too low. They're way below your potential if you're hitting your goals. So you want to set goals that are out of reach. You want to make yourself uncomfortable, because what happens when you make yourself uncomfortable? You grow. And eventually you're going to get comfortable with what used to make you uncomfortable. So again, you've got to grow again and make yourself uncomfortable all over again. You've got to push yourself again out of that comfort zone to grow further. You know, I get uncomfortable a lot. You might go to the gym, and if you go to the gym and you're comfortable with whatever it is that you're doing, you might go pick up like some little 2.5 pound weights, and you're like, oh, look at this, I can do this, woo! Are you doing anything? Are you doing anything that's going to really, get you ripped, that's going to get you all jacked and looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger or whoever? No. That's not going to happen if you're in there not making yourself uncomfortable. You've got to make yourself uncomfortable if you want growth. And so what that means now, you've got your real estate license, you're brand new in the real estate business, and you're looking for business. What are your comfort zones? A lot of agents, the average agent, will default to their sphere of influence. Now, this sphere of influence, these are people that already know you. People that already know you, whether that's coworkers, whether that's friends, whether that's family members. And look, I'm not telling you to not use them as a source of leads, as a source of referrals. Absolutely. But you're still in your comfort zone there. You're in your comfort zone because these are people that you already know. And you do the math. If every single person in your sphere of influence were to buy a house from you, and let's just say that's over 1 year, you're probably still not going to hit that $100,000 goal, or whatever goal it is that you're setting for yourself. That's that goal that's out of reach. So you can't rely on your sphere of influence. Yes, that's the first place that you want to start, but you want to move through that really quickly and then move into being uncomfortable. Because it'll be a little uncomfortable at first, talking to your friends and family and trying to get business from them. Hey, do you know anybody who needs to buy or sell real estate? That'll be a little uncomfortable the first 1 or 2 times that you say it. But then what's going to happen? You're going to be comfortable because, yeah, you already know these people. They already trust you. So now how do we get uncomfortable so we move into growth? We move out of the stagnation and we move into growth. Well, we've got to get uncomfortable. We've got to meet people that we don't know. You might say, John, I don't want to do that. I'm an introvert. Guess what? I'm an introvert too, but here I am. This weekend. I'm doing a weekend review class. We're going to have 50 plus people here in the classroom with us. We've got a bunch of people that are tuning in online because this is the first time we're actually live streaming that weekend review class. Now, if you were to tell me 10, 15 years ago that I'd be doing that, I'd say, no way, I'm an introvert. I don't like talking to people. I don't know if I can get up in front of a crowd. I remember the first class I taught, I was nervous. A few classes, it took me a while to lose those butterflies in the stomach, and every now and then I still get those, especially when I'm pushing myself outside of my comfort zone. But look, I'm an introverted person, but I could do this. You could do it as well. Your introversion is just that you're not going to like it. It doesn't mean that you can't do it. And what happens is you get comfortable doing these things that you don't like, and you'll realize they're not that bad. Hey, yeah, it's not the end of the world, and it actually makes me get paid. It actually makes it so I could help out these people that didn't know who I was. You need to get to that level that, hey, it's a disservice to everyone that doesn't know me for me not making sure that they know me because I know that I'm the best person to service their real estate needs. You need to get to that level of confidence in yourself. And introvert, extrovert, I don't care what label you want to put on yourself or that other people have put on you. Because I never really called myself an introvert, but, other people said that, oh, you're shy, you're an introvert. Oh, okay, I guess. And, you get that information fed into you, and that's what you start to believe. But you've got greatness inside of you. At the risk of sounding cliche, you do. You've just got to let it out. You've got to dig deep inside yourself and pull it out. The only thing is that you're not comfortable with it yet. Once you get comfortable, you'll seem like a natural. That's why, people that perform at their top of their game, whether we want to call it some sort of sport or maybe they play some sort of musical instrument or whatever it is, that, you heard that expression that, oh, wow, they make it look so easy. Because what they're doing isn't something that's uncomfortable for them. They've done it so much that they've become comfortable. And anything it is that you want to get great at, doing it and doing it and doing it and practicing it and doing it, that will end up making you comfortable in that. So what do you want to do to now, let's get back into finding new clients. Open houses are good. We've done a lot of shows at State of Real Estate on holding open houses. That's one thing you want to put on your list of when you're planning your levels of action. Going out knocking on some doors, going out doing some cold calling. Now, these ultimately don't have to be the things that are long run. So look, if you don't like making cold calls, if you don't like holding open houses, if you don't like going door knocking, good. You only have to do it until you don't have to do it. So what do I mean by that? Look, when you're starting out, you've got to rely on prospecting for business, not marketing. Because marketing dollars go quicker than you imagine. Again, understanding that correct level of action, even with a perfect marketing plan, with marketing that works, it's going to take more than you would imagine initially to get the return on investment it is that you want. So, as a new agent who really doesn't know what they're doing, that hasn't done any deals yet, you don't want to go just start shoveling in hundreds, if not thousands of dollars into a marketing budget when you're not even sure if you could service these clients. Now, marketing is something you get to someday, but you got to start out with prospecting. You don't like prospecting? Good. Do it until you don't have to do it anymore. Do it until you can afford to dump money into your marketing. And what's going to happen, getting yourself outside this comfort zone, you're going to start to get more confident. You're going to start to get more comfortable. You're going to start to seem like a professional. And then now when you start putting the money, you start adding the fuel to the fire, you use the prospecting to get the spark. And prospecting is not sustainable over the long run, not at least by you and yourself. Maybe if you're growing at a larger team, you can have a team of prospectors, but ultimately if you want to get to massive levels of action, you're going to have to use some marketing dollars to get that. But you got to first get the spark. Marketing will not ignite your flame. Marketing will not ignite your fire. You're just throwing wood in a pile. That's what marketing does. Marketing, you're just throwing wood in a pile. And nothing happens until you add that spark to it. Because even with all this money you're spending in marketing, you're still going to need a person to initiate that conversation, to sell to them, to establish that relationship. And now what happens when prospecting is you're just out there trying to ignite the fire. You're just out there trying to start the flame to get some smoke and you get your flame and you start something. And then once you start getting some business, you can start investing in the marketing and start throwing the wood on the fire, and now all of a sudden we've got a great big fire. But you don't want to start out with marketing. You've got to start with prospecting. You've got to start and really start honing your skills of conversation, of communication, of building trust. And there's no better way to learn how to build trust with somebody than to have a perfect stranger who you've never met before, who doesn't want to talk to you, and you win them over. Now, you might think that, hey, I can't do that. It's not possible. I'm not able to do it. And you can. You can. It's going to be uncomfortable. You're not going to like it at first. But once you start to get good at it, you might even like it. Once you start getting comfortable there, you might even like it. You might want to have other people you hire on your real estate team to handle the other parts of the business because you like the prospecting. You never know. But point being, you've got to do it. You've got to do it. You've got to get comfortable with it. And look, if you're really not wanting to, go out and just knock on people's doors or pick up the phone and make a cold call, start with maybe doing an open house. That's a great way to start establishing relationships with people. And what's going to happen is you're going to realize that every person that comes in, if you're not doing a great job at establishing that relationship, they're going to be walking out and you never hear from them again. And you're going to realize, I guess I've got to be the one that follows up. I've got to be the one that initiates. I've got to be the one that's in control, because when they're in control, they're going to end up probably with somebody else who is going to take the control because they don't know what they're doing. Imagine how much you don't know what you're doing in the real estate business, and then imagine how much somebody wanting to buy or sell a home that doesn't have all the knowledge it is that you have, and how much they don't know what they're doing. So you've got to get confident in yourself, and the way to do that is making yourself first uncomfortable. When you feel uncomfortable, that's good. That means you're in a place of growth. So own that uncomfortability. Own that feeling of uneasiness. I love it when I get butterflies in my stomach now because I'm like, oh yeah, that means that I'm getting better. I love it when I have a workout that's super hard that makes me feel like I'm just going to collapse, because I know that that's fueling the growth. And that's what you need to do every single day. You've got to make yourself uncomfortable. You got to understand that correct level of action, and don't fall victim to the myth of being average. Look, that's all the time we've got for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, hit that subscribe button if you have not done so already. Thank you guys for tuning in. You can watch the replay on YouTube, Facebook, tampaschool.com/success, wherever. If you want to start your real estate career, maybe you've got to do post-licensing or continue education, or maybe get your broker license, call us up. We've got advisors standing by. That phone number is 813-333-2676. Again, that's 813-333-2676. Check us out online at tampaschool.com. That's all the time we've got for today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next week. Hey, so if you're thinking about starting a real estate career, it could feel a little overwhelming sometimes. Look, that's completely understandable. That's why we're here to help. If you haven't already, check out our Success Center, tampaschool.com/success. Or if you don't even know where to begin, give us a call. We'd love to help you out. We've got advisors standing by to answer any questions you have and assist you in any way it is that we can. Our phone number is 813-928-0106. Again, that's 813-928-0106. Give us a call. We're the Tampa School of Real Estate. You're watching State of Real Estate.